Hey guys, welcome back to Frances Quilts. Well, my first question to you is, did you like the new intro? I figured you got enough of me talking during the video, so you really didn't need me talking through the intro. So if you liked it, let me know. If you didn't like it, let me know that too. It may change a few times in the next month or so, but I'm just playing to see different things, so I'd love to hear what you think. But enough about videoing and intros. Today we are back to some free motion quilting. I try to make Fridays my free motion Fridays on my blog, and a lot of times that includes a video. But in the last, maybe 2 months, life has just gotten really crazy and I didn't get around to it. If you've been following my blog at all, you know that the last 3 weeks we were in Africa, and a lot of my blog posts were about that African adventure. So if you're interested in that, there's a link in the show notes that'll take you to my blog, and be sure and just scroll back a few weeks and look at some of those posts. We had fun with lions and cheetahs and pangolins and rhinos and all sorts of things. So be sure and check those out if you're interested. But now, back to quilting. Today I'm going back to some grid quilting. Well, sort of back to it, because the grid quilting that we've been doing was using very detailed, very straight, very measured 1-inch or 2-inch or 1/2-inch squares. It was the design was very structured, and you had to be very careful to make sure that you kept everything even and working well. This time I am using a wonkier design. So we're going to start out with some wonky curves in there and wonky checkerboard design. I don't remember exactly what we called this pattern when we did it on straight lines, but this is what it looked like. But today we're going to be doing it on curves. So let's go to the machine and I'll show you what we're going to do. The grid that we're going to be doing today is kind of wonky, so I thought we'd just make ourselves a wonky square here. What we're going to do is draw some grid lines, not nice, straight, even grid lines where I've used rulers before, but instead I'm just going to take my marker and I'm just going to do kind of a curved line like that. They don't have to all be the same distance apart. They can have different movements in them if we want them to. Bring this one over here. It's hard to do the different movement going different directions, but we're just going to do this and maybe just bring this one up here. So that's the first part of our grid. Now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to do the same thing coming down the other way. Whoops. All right, that is the grid that I'm going to be quilting in. I'm ready to start quilting now, and I'm going to tell you that this is the first time I have sat at my machine and quilted in about, probably a month and a half, at least 6 weeks. So this may be interesting to do. I don't know if I still have the knack for doing it or if I'm going to have to practice some more off screen, but we're just going to start. So the first step I'm going to do is quilting from here in an arc to here, and then here, and then here, and just continue going down that line. Let's go. Hit that point. Hit the next point. Now let's go back. That's kind of fun. I think the fact that it's wonky means I don't have to worry about it as much. I don't have to worry about everything being just so precise. So let's keep going and do the next row. That's a long one. Oh yeah, that is so much fun. Let's keep going. Let's go all the way back. I don't care if you do any more to this. I think this right here with these kind of wavy beads would be a really fun design just like that. See if you can picture it without all those blue lines in it. I think that could be a lot of fun by itself. So now let's come back and do the other side of this. So we're going to do these next pieces right here. We're going to bounce along those lines up to here, and then we're going to bounce our way back again. Obviously, I did not need to quilt those little lines in there because I'm having to go over them every time, but live and learn. I think I will run a line all the way around here just to end this off, and then over on some of these sides right here I need to do my bumps along that outside line. So let's finish it up. Well, I forgot to turn the video on when I was talking about how it looked with all the blue lines in. And honestly, you couldn't see a whole lot, so it's probably okay that I skipped that part. At least I remembered to video it while I was actually doing the stitching. But I love how this looks. I love these big areas in here and then some of the smaller ones up in here. I just love the fact that it has this motion to it that I just think is absolutely wonderful. I didn't plan it super well, obviously, because I end up having to overstitch several things here, and I think again on this line. So a little more planning would have been better. One thing I will watch out for next time is to make sure that this doesn't happen, that I don't get this this place here. This one should have followed along and ended like that, so that I didn't have this overstitch. Same with little ones here. That's the only one that really sticks out badly to me. And then probably I will maybe make sure that I'm hitting all these points in the same place. That one does not look great because all the different stitch lines are coming together at different places. So that's one I would probably look at for as well. But overall, I think that looks great. Let's look at the back. Again, I love the loopiness of it. On this one, you can't see those places that I feel like I didn't do as good of a job on. So that's actually better having it back here. With a thread that matches. But I think that looks good, and I am very, very pleased with that, and I think it's a great way for me to have returned to free motion quilting. I really like this design. I think it was easy to do, especially for me just getting back into machine quilting after 6 weeks or so. It was very easy to do. I love the fluid nature of it, that it's not as static as some of the grid quilting designs. And I just think it's going to be a fun design that I can add to my repertoire. Now, are you like me and you get to the end of piecing a quilt and you're so happy with it, and then you think, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to quilt this? Well, this quilt behind me is a free course on my website called 12 Ways to Quilt a Sawtooth Star. And what you'll see is every single one of these blocks is quilted differently. I've designed different patterns and different ways of quilting. Some are done with rulers, some are done freehand. All of them can be done freehand if you don't want to use rulers. But you might check this course out. I will leave a link at the end of this video to the folder that has all of those videos in it. And if you would like a free pattern for this quilt, this Sawtooth Star quilt, I will leave a link in the show notes as well that will take you to my website. And then finally, if you're interested in free motion quilting with rulers but you're scared to start, I have a great course called Keeping It Straight, and it's 8 ways to use a straight edge ruler. Straight edge is the easiest way to start, and I encourage you to check that out as well. Again, have a look in the show notes. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time on Frances Quilts.
Remember, if you like what you've seen, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Please check out my website and daily blog at francesquilts.com, and I can be found on Facebook and Instagram at Frances Quilts. Thanks so much for joining me. Hope to see you again soon.